So in this lesson, we're going to be planning the adjusting entries. And so we are dealing with a prepaid, sometimes whenever, let me get next slide. When cash is paid for expense in one fiscal period that's not used until a later one, it's called prepaid expense. And so we'll have to adjust some of those prepaid expenses in this time when they actually got used. Reporting income and when it's earned and expenses when they happen is called accrual-based accounting. And the cash-based accounting is reporting when cash is received and expenses when they're paid. Like I said, we're going to be looking at some adjustments at the end of this fiscal period, to adjust it back to what is really on hand. So before the adjustment, our supply expense was 0 and our supplies was 620. But we go back and we look in our shelves and we only have $90 of supplies. So we have used throughout this year $530 worth. And so we need to adjust it by saying that we use $530 in expenses, and that we'll also need to reduce our supplies amount by $90. And this will show up on that worksheet in the adjustments column by the amount we need to reduce it. So we need to reduce it by 530. That is a number that's going to show up here. We're going to write the amounts of the adjustment in the debit column for the expense and the credit column for the supply line. And label both of them as A's because they are the two parts of the adjustment. So insurance, our prepaid insurance was $90. We actually have on hand the balance that we're currently available is $750. So we're $150 of it has been used for this year. So we need to adjust down by $150. So our expense is going to get $150 and as a debit, and our prepaid insurance is going to get $150 as a credit. And it will get our new balance down to $750. So again, we're doing the same thing. Our prepaid insurance is going to receive the credit of $150, and our expense is going to get the debit. And we label them this time with a B because they are connected together on this entry. We're going to total up just like we did yesterday, and these totals should balance. We're going to put a single line across the two adjustments and then double line after we get the totals. The expense should be reported in the same fiscal period as it used for the product revenue. So the 4 questions you should ask when you're analyzing the account is, what is the balance of the account being adjusted? What should that balance be for the account? So what is actually available? What can be done to correct it? And what adjustments need to be made? So let's go ahead and go to our lesson and do the work together. So we had supplies on hand of 75. So let's go down to supplies. And it shows it's at 228. So if I take 228 minus 75, I get 153. I need to have this as a credit of 153. It's not going to let me put the little A in this one. So that's all I need to do is put the 153 and then go down to my supply expense, and it's going to get a debit of 153. And then our prepaid insurance, the value of our prepaid insurance right now is $250. Our prepaid insurance that we had noted before was at $375. So we've used $125. 125, and we'll go down to insurance expense and put 125. We'll total up those two numbers, so 153 plus 125, and we get 278. And that should be our total for both columns when we add those up, because it's the same numbers both times. And that's what you'll be working on your own in the application.